Yo guys, what is going on? Welcome back to my channel. Hope you guys are doing great. Happy weekend. On the last episode, oh my gosh. So these harpies are attacking us. We just infiltrated the temple again. And we're kind of deciding whether we need to attack these things. I mean, obviously we do, but we have to find out the best way. We last put other people to sleep, so we use a lot of our mana on our last episode. So this one, I don't think I can put harpies to sleep. Um, Pretend you're enchanted. That could work, but then what happens to Narisa? Use an illusion to trick him. Illusions. I'm not a big fan of illusions. I gotta be honest with you guys. Um, what should we do? Throw firebolts? There's a lot of them, so I feel like if we do that, that we're probably just gonna hurt one. At least from the picture, it looks like there's three. I don't know if they said there was three or not. I don't recall. But honestly, our best bet would be to put them to sleep. But I don't even know if that works on harpies. I wish I knew my mythology of harpies. I need to pick up a book. But anyways, guys, again, hope you guys are doing great. Here we're not gonna pretend to be enchanted. That's not going to work. Because they are attacking me and Narissa, and I don't want her. I don't want anything to happen. So we're gonna try to put him to sleep. Hopefully this works. I don't. I really don't think it's gonna work, but we're gonna go with that. Super crushing move. Dang, such domination. Okay, it worked. Sweet. The harpies are high in the air, and so how can you resist casting sleep on them? To your delight, all three succumb to your spell and plummet to the marble floor. One of them, awakened by the impact, screeches in pain while struggling to stand. Her left wing beats furiously. Her right is bent and hangs limp. Narissa charges and slams her mace into the wounded harpy's face, slicing it. The other two wounded monsters do not even stand up before Narissa finishes them off. Such power, wizard. Narissa smiles at you as though awestruck. That was rather impressive, you think to yourself, although you are careful not to say this out loud. There is no need. So it's like the game read my mind. That is so funny because it's like, yeah, I did that, right? I did that. But good choice, guys. Good choice. I think that was a great choice. I did not think it was gonna work. We are super short in mana. We do have a lot of life. And I say a lot really in quotations because, sometimes these things be hitting really hard. But let's continue. You and Narissa take a moment to recover and survey your surroundings. Up there, Narissa points up at the stone arches, a nest for these beasts, perhaps. In a crook where the stone arch just out from the main wall, there is a tangle of straw illuminated by the green burning statue. Do you see that? Two legs bound together dangle from the nest. I saw them move, says Narissa. It cannot be a harpy, for they haven't human legs, you say. A captive of the beast? Please, you must climb up and see, Narissa urges. Must I? You wonder. Psst. You hiss up at the nest high above. You see the legs sway as though in response, although you hear nothing. We must have shouted in here, Narissa warns. See the stairs to the upper floor? There may be more beasts above. As the captive legs are bound, he is likely also gagged. At least climb half the distance and then call up. Psst. Yes, again. Dimly you hear, help, from above in a raspy voice. Climb, Narissa whispers. You consider the stone arch. It is so heavily inlaid with patterns and figures that you suppose that even an unskilled climber, such as yourself, could manage it. If you slip, you have a simple feathers fall spell that will allow you to land safely. Not if we don't have any mana. Thankfully, the climbing is easy. You step on the stones and head of a you step on the stone head of a manticore, grab the arm of a wood nymph, and so on, until you reach the nest. You are greeted with an awful sight as you topple over the ledge onto the straw. Next to you is a bound old man, or at least what is left of him. His eyes are gone, merely little black pits remain. He has no left arm, and only half of his right arm remains. Perhaps, most disturbing of all, is his lack of genitals. Gods, you gasp. Human? You are human? I cannot see, the old man says. Yes, you whisper. Neville Scat, what has happened to you? I am old. The winged devils use me only to snack on when they have nothing better except for my eyes. Those they fought over. I have a rope. I will tie this around you and. No, he interrupts you. There is nothing left of me. They took my sight, my arms, my manhood. No, I asked you to kill me. Slit my throat. They tied me in place so I cannot even roll off to my death. I cannot. There is time for nothing else. They will return. We have slain 3 of them, you say. There are more. Before they took my eyes, I saw more than a dozen. They leave this place to do the bidding of their mistress. You have met this mistress, you ask? Never. Thank the gods. The winged devils call her the good lady. I shudder to think of what manner of beast could command such evil. You put a reassuring hand on one of his thumbs. This is all I know. Sorry, I don't mean to laugh, but that was pretty funny. This is all I know. Be thankful that they spare my lips and tongue long enough to tell you that much. Hurry away now and get aid to slay the rest of them. But first, I beg of you, if you have any pity, please, please, kill me. What do you do? I think here, unfortunately, we have to unalive him. Just because, we kind of have to. I saw this. I'm not gonna go into tangent, but I saw an episode of The Office where there was something similar. You need to watch it. But I think we're gonna unalive him. So you consider cutting the rope that ties him to the nest to enable the old man to make the final choice, but decide instead to spare him this final anguish. You pull out your dagger and, without a word, slit his throat from ear to ear. Quickly, you tie the rope off and rappel it down as fast as you can. Nerissa comes out from behind a pillar where she has been hiding and asks you what you saw. A dead man, you reply. Just then, you hear the flap of wings above, accompanied by voices and cackling. More harpies. Hurry, you exclaim. You run down the entrance chamber. As you run, you notice that the cackling suddenly stops. There is a pause, and then screams of anguish fill your ears. They must have found their sisters, you think. You run to a pair of double doors covered with bloody symbols that look familiar and fill you with a sense of dread. Nevertheless, you dare not delay, and without so much as a pause, you open the doors. Upon slamming the doors behind, the 2 of you find yourselves in complete darkness. You hear Nerissa's voice as she utters a brief prayer, and then the room lights up when the head of her mace begins burning bright white. The doors have no locks or any braces to bar them. The blood-scrawled symbols are on this side of the door too, and now you remember why. I have seen this before, you whisper, pointing to the symbols. I believe it is a ward used as a barrier to spirits, to demons perhaps. Is the barrier to keep spirits in or out? I suspect the one in Castle Inverness was to keep them in, you answer. There are screeches on the other side of the door. Those doors are not locked, yet they do not follow. A bad sign, I should think, Nerissa says. Even still, we dare not stand here. Let us move on. Perhaps you should douse that light. It is like the sun, you say. This is the light of Alathia, not some mundane torch, says Nerissa. Yes, and I suspect it is also a beacon to those who would harm us. We might be wise to use a hooded lantern to guide our way. It is said that evil spirits find the light of Alathia most unpleasant. Perhaps they will not approach. Unpleasant? A spirit from the abyss knows no comfort. Perhaps your light will only provoke them, you say. Nerissa shrugs. I leave it to you, decision wizard. You have seen these symbols before, and perhaps know what lies ahead. What do you do? Alright, so here we come across another tough decision, in my opinion. Although we can see more with that, but there's a chance that they can see us obviously coming. That makes sense. Versus switching to a hooded lantern that may minimize our vision, and possibly we could fall into like traps and stuff like that. So I think in this instance, we're actually gonna keep the light on, and hope that nobody's there. From what I understand, shades and stuff like that don't really like light, so maybe she does have a point. So probably not the best choice here, but we're gonna keep the lights of Alathia. As there is no light down here, I presume anything that resides in this place will have no trouble finding us in the dark anyway. Keep your holy light burning, cleric, you say. She nods. Keep close to me. Gladly, you do as you are told, and as the two of you walk forward, your hips occasionally brush up against each other. Like the entrance chamber you just left, these halls are carved and ornate. There are many doors, nevertheless, you keep walking straight down the main hall. Suddenly, you hear low voices. They are in a language you do not understand. You look around and see something dark coming just within the reach of Nerissa's light, and then fly away. Then you see another, and then a third. As I feared, demons, like the ones in Castle Ivernest, you whisper. Keep moving. The light of Alathe will not last long, Nerissa says. Oh gosh, that's not a good premonition. What do you seek? Comes a deep voice from the shadows ahead. I am Serendel the Cunning. I was born before the day your sun rose for the first time. I offer you knowledge. Demons mix lies with truth. Ignore them, Nerissa says, and claps your hand in hers. She quickens the pace. You cannot survive here. You are too weak. Another voice says, I am Farnelius, the Indomitable. I offer you power. Do not listen to these slaves, says yet another. I am Delvach, the Chaotic. I serve no master and therefore serve no enemy of yours. Other voices join these, some of them calling you by name and all of them offering their services. You wonder if it would hurt to ask them a question or two. If they do mix truth with lies, you may still be able to sort the truth from the falsehoods, and you could certainly use some information. What do you do? Oh no, this is such a tough choice. Guys, we're unfortunately gonna have to end the video here, but I would definitely like your input on this one because this is gonna be a decision that's probably gonna determine a lot of things going forward. So obviously we can ask them a few questions, but they might trick us. Again, I'm not a good lie detector. I'm not even gonna front. But so like even if they tell me truth and lies, I probably wouldn't be able to tell what's the truth and what's the lies. Maybe the story will guide me, but I I really want to ask some questions, but I'm gonna let you guys decide how we're gonna choose the path here. Please, leave that down in the comments. I really appreciate you guys. This was a super awesome episode. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.